Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over a tornado threat for tomorrow, January 8th, that extends from Houston to Mobile, Alabama. So by 9 a.m. there should already be quite a bit of stuff going on. We have this sort of linear mode already having developed, but we also have some prefrontal convection already out in front of this line of storms by 9 a.m. And as we go to about noon, this model, the HRRR, shows somewhat robust thunderstorms, maybe supercells, trying to form a little north of Houston, and maybe some even out here in southwestern Louisiana. 3 p.m. There's still some semi-discrete activity, but it is looking a little bit messy in terms of storm mode. And so I think that could mean that as these storms work their way into Louisiana, they'll start to die off a little, and that's not just due to storm mode, but they'll also outrun the moisture and instability. And then there's also a lot of scattered thunderstorms out here in southern Mississippi and east Louisiana. As we go to 6 p.m., you can see our possible supercells up here have basically formed into a squall line. Down here, storm mode is maybe a little bit less messy. Maybe a few supercells trying to form at the bottom of this blob of convection, but nothing too crazy. 9 p.m. we do see, once again, messy semi-discrete activity of thunderstorms. And then by midnight, maybe some more prefrontal messiness, as a linear mode definitely seems to take shape. So we're going to take a look at a few soundings. This first one is kind of north of Houston with those possible early afternoon supercells. And so this is a pretty favorable environment for tornadoes. Moisture, or at least dew point spreads, not going to be a problem, as is with almost all southeastern type tornado setups. Low level lapse rates are decent for sure. Mixed layer CAPE 1900, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue either. Hodographs definitely look pretty favorable for some tornadoes. Kind of reminds me of December 9th when we had a bit of a tornado outbreak, and in the forecast for that I compared it to January 12th. So almost seems to be a trend of photographs shaped kind of like this. So definitely a tornado threat around and maybe just north of the Houston area. A little bit further into the day at around 6 p.m. This is in southwestern Louisiana, I think. You can see photographs start to become a little bit wonky and not quite as impressive for tornadoes. Still a tornado threat, but not as much, I don't think, as what was previously there a little bit further west. Our lapse rates have decreased quite a bit as well, to about 5.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer. And so I'm not as sure about the tornado threat with a sounding like this, but still a tornado threat nonetheless. And then as we go into the night hours, this is around New Orleans, you can see instability and particularly low-level lapse rates are pretty weak. 5.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer is definitely on the low end for possible tornado setups. But our hodographs definitely take on that classic Dixie Alley shape. Storms are going to be moving pretty fast throughout the whole outbreak, but especially now, as they work further east. These storms are going to be moving at about 50 miles per hour. But yeah, a lot of curvature in the low levels of the hodograph, which makes me think that a tornado threat with any supercells could increase as the storm system moves closer to New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama. So, putting this all together, I've put together a tornado outlook. So I have a level 1 risk for a few tornadoes, basically from Austin to the western Florida Panhandle. And then I've added 2 level 2 risks, one in Houston and just north of it, and the other in New Orleans to around Mobile. And the reason I have 2 separate ones is because I think there are going to be 2 sort of waves, if you will, of tornado potential. One is going to be with maybe more favorable instability, and that's the one out here. And then I think the storms around the Houston area, if they form in our supercells, are going to move into Louisiana and sort of fade out. And then we're going to shift focus to kind of the New Orleans area, as there is potential supercell development and a conditional strong tornado threat in this area. But I'm not fully convinced on a significant tornado outbreak yet. I do think it's possible, but there's too many things like weak lapse rates and storm mode that make me kind of question the tornado potential. But I do definitely think that a few strong tornadoes are possible with a setup like this. Then after Monday, working into Tuesday, the tornado threat is going to shift east for areas like Georgia, northern half of Florida, and into North and South Carolina. I think South Carolina, at least right now, seems to have the highest threat for tornadoes. I'll probably make a video about that tomorrow, but for now, that's all. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.